Hi, everyone. It's from Row Phyllis. So, what would happen if Sherlock Holmes and Monty Python had an illegitimate Broadway baby? Well, you would get the funniest play ever seen on Broadway. I am talking about the play that goes wrong. And here with me today are some of the cast. Welcome, guys.
Hey,
Yay! Thank you so much for having us.
yeah, for real.
Thank you for joining us because I know that you're right in the middle of tour. So it gets a little hectic for you guys. You got 1, 2 shows sometimes a day. What do you guys do? Like 8 shows sometimes a week, right?
8 shows a week.
Yep, 8.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I complain that I'm busy. Forget about it. I thought that I was. Are you enjoying the snow from today? Did you get a chance to see?
Yeah, this is wild.
I'm not from Chicago, so I was not about to leave the house until I absolutely had to. But I saw one of my friends like Instagram story, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm okay.
No, it's okay. Yeah, you know what? I'm from Chicago and I seriously can't handle it anymore. I'm like, this is crazy. And it keeps getting more and more. Like tonight is supposed to be like a foot and it might be more. And so it's crazy. So we got to talk about the play. So for our viewers that have never seen the play before, tell us a little bit about what to expect or really what not to expect.
So basically the premise is that these Cornell University players, right? They're from the UK and they've come over to America to put on their lovely little production of The Murder at Havisham Manor. And while they're there, they've met some amazing American characters, which Colton and I play. We're like the tech crew. And it's opening night and things are going to be amazing on opening night until they're not. And I don't want to tell anybody like spoil anything,
Right.
But no matter what, these group of people are going to get through this show. They are going to finish telling The Murder of Havisham Manor no matter what crazy things happen. And yes, that's all I'm going to say.
That's it. So has there ever, in the play that goes wrong, has there ever been a time that something's gone wrong that actually wasn't supposed to happen? Right?
Yes. Like every week. Every week.
But that's the beauty of the show is like if something does go wrong that's not supposed to go wrong, like we're trying to figure it out. So like it makes more sense actually if that does happen when it happens.
Really? We are very thankful that people know that things are expecting things to go wrong. So when something actually does go wrong, like we get a little leeway with the audience, or we could just make it work and keep it going. So like that works out great for us.
Exactly.
But for the most part though, like it could be such a dangerous set that like everything that like actually needs to go right will go right. And it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Right. So what is your favorite part about working on this comedy? You guys get both answer. What do you think?
Go first.
Honestly, for me, I think because the play allows for some breathing room for improv, it never gets boring.
Yeah.
Because there's each audience, especially for our characters in particular, is our other scene partner. They complete the actual cast. And so each audience is different. So Colt and I especially get to feel out and our characters are free to like interact with the audience. And that never gets boring. That level of improv that gets to with the rest of the stuff that is completely scripted.
Right. What about you, Colton? What'd you?
Oh yeah, I would say just like being with this cast in particular, like we got so close in New York, and just bringing it back home. That's my favorite part about it. And like Renee just said, the audience is different every night. So, and they are a character of the show, whether they like it, know it or not. They are a character, and messing with them is always a blast.
Has there been anybody in the audience that you're just like, oh, you know what, we really gotta hone in on that person. We're just gonna really. Has there been or once or twice? Come on, tell the dirt.
I mean, people generally like our characters, but there's some other characters in certain moments. Like our illustrious Matt Mueller plays Chris Bean, and his character has the freedom to get back at you if you were gonna play around. So yes, that does
That's
happen.
hysterical.
Yeah.
Has it been different with, because I know that you guys were on tour in New York. Is it different, during the pandemic with all the COVID protocols and stuff like that? Have you guys kind of had to adjust and change things and that kind of thing?
Yeah, well, our particular production is a full Chicago cast. Completely, we were all casted, and we just started rehearsals back in November. But we did get to work with our off-Broadway counterparts, and we have joined this wonderful Wrong family. So we've known what it was before, and so we've only experienced it in this time. But yeah, there are a couple things that to make sure that we stay safe.
Right.
Whenever we interact with audience, we do wear our masks. Equity, our union is doing their absolute best to keep us safe and tested. And shout out to Broadway in Chicago and everyone doing the amazing COVID protocols. So while there are different things to keep everyone safe, that doesn't at all affect the joy and the fun and the laughter that is happening. That is still happening all the time.
All the time. And has there ever been a time that, because I know that every audience for anything that in entertainment, it really depends on the audience. Has there ever been a time that like you come out and the audience just isn't really there? You know what I mean? Has there ever been that time?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of happened for sure. But like the important thing for us, me and Arnasia's character is a little different, but like the important thing to remember is like we're here to tell a play, like a murder mystery. So like you can get caught up in the laughs, but like we're always trying to drive the story. And if they laugh, great. If not, I mean, they laugh. So let's be real.
They do.
But,
they totally.
Even if, because Colt and I especially are the ones who get, because we do this no spoilers, we do this thing called a pre-show. Right. So get there early if you want to come. But don't get there just on time, get there early. And so we get to like feel the temperature of the audience, because we get to really literally be out there with them. And so we'll tell the cast, but no matter what, each audience always warms up. Either they're like there from the jump or they may grow into it, but they always warm up. We always get them.
Yeah.
That's so, you know what, I have to tell you that when I saw the play for the first time, I've seen it a couple times, and when I saw it the first time, I truly didn't know what to expect. And, I do this for a living, and I didn't really read about it or do the research before. And I get there and no joke, I've never laughed so hard in my entire life. I mean, my stomach hurt the next day. I was like, what did I do? And it was from laughing throughout the entire performance. Yeah,
absolutely agree. I had the same experience because I got to see it for the first time after we were cast, because we were like, okay, we're going to go watch our off-Broadway counterparts. And I cracked up so hard, so much. You literally, it's nonstop laughter. The show is honestly brilliant.
It is brilliant.
Shout out to our UK people who wrote it and made it almost a decade ago. And it's still so funny.
Going off of that, it is like the perfect play for right now, especially like after the pandemic or being in the pandemic still. And, after everything, it's just like the perfect show to come, turn your brain off, laugh, and just have a good time. And yeah, you could tell someone what it's about, as best as you can. And like you said, you don't know what you're in for. So you got to see for yourself.
Yeah, you have to definitely see it for yourself. Has there ever been a time, whether, in live theater, in a different performance, that something really has gone wrong, that it really wasn't supposed to, that you guys were in? Do you remember that?
Yes.
You do.
I mean, because it happened like 2 weeks ago. But the best thing about this cast is that number one, not only do we all have each other's backs, that's number two. Number one. Number two is I'm gonna toot our own horn. We're brilliant. This cast is the best, and we know how to just work with each other and make it work. And you know what? We're gonna even if something that's supposed to go right goes wrong, or vice versa, we're gonna make it work. And we do, and we will.
Now, were you ever in another production, like in a completely different production, and then something really went wrong and you were like, you have to improv, you have to figure it out.
Yeah, you have to improv, or if it's like, shout out to all the stage managers out there who keep us
Right.
absolutely safe, who will call, like, hold, do whatever we need to do to fix things, because our safety is number one,
Right.
right? Anything you have to say about that, Colton?
I mean, it's live theater,
Right. That's what I mean.
Exactly.
Yeah, thanks for sure. I've had, I mean, I don't know. I go back. I remember in high school, this kid one time fell off like the top of the stage. Like, I forgot a line before, and that's the beauty of live theater, though. You go on, you figure it out, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I just remember I had one of those moments where someone's supposed to come on and interrupt you.
Okay.
And I've literally actually had that where they didn't come on. They were like in the dressing room on the like second, third floor, and you can hear them like coming down, but we are on stage being like, are they going to come on? And the moment is extending. And it's so funny. I don't want to give any spoilers about our show, but the scene that I'm talking about, that has actually happened to me. And we're like, what do we do?
Right.
Let's just continue to act like we're in love or whatever and keep it going. That's actually happened to me.
That's hysterical. You know what? That's happened to us when we do live interviews outside. And we've had people, like for what we do, what's hysterical is that people will come behind us, they see a camera and they start like waving and doing whatever. And you're just like, is this really happening right now?
Yes, I've seen like those videos or those compilations before. Like it's being live is, even especially in that type of environment when anything else can happen. Like,
I know. So we just expect it, or people will say things, my favorite, and I have to do the auto show next week. And that's my favorite because you always get some crazy, somebody that had a little too much alcohol right behind you. I'm like, oh no. Right. So it's something to, well, what can we do? If there's one thing that somebody, or two things, or what can the audience take away from the play? What's like that one thing that they're going to take away with? I know, right? It's hard because there's probably a lot.
I think you're just gonna feel good. Like you're gonna leave the theater feeling good. Like you're just gonna feel joy. You're gonna,
Which is what
and I hope, like we always talk, and it is true that the audience really is that like ninth character on stage. I really hope that they leave the theater having an amazing good time. They laugh for those 2 hours, but also felt like you were a part of why the show was so great. We really do. When Colton and I are going come to the show, we're going to be talking to, we're going to be needing. Yes, you are a part of it. So I hope that they enjoy the show and they laugh, and that they feel that they helped create the joy that they are feeling. They were literally a part of it. Whether you are a performer yourself or you're a person who just wants to sit back and watch, you were a part of it. So I hope you walk away with that. Wow, that was so much fun. We did that.
Oh, I love that. Well, you know what, guys? I know that you got a very busy evening. Thank you again for talking to us today. If you are in Chicago or planning a trip to Chicago, you have got to add this to your must-see list. It is now playing through April 3rd at the Broadway Playhouse in Chicago. Thank you, guys. Have an incredible evening and a great show.